Hey, and welcome to Brain Weird. We're diving into autism, ADHD, and the beautiful, messy, brilliant reality of being neurodivergent. And we're also going to talk about the things no one else explains, the things you wish someone had told you, and the things that finally make you feel seen. Hi, my name is Tyler. I'm 30 years old, and I have ADHD.
Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Ty.
Fantastic.
Hi, Tyler. Hi, my name is Carmery. I am 44 years old and I have autism level 1.
Hi, Carmery. Damn, you gonna leave me hanging, bro? Damn.
Hi,
Hi,
Conmery.
And my name is Carrie. I am 25 years old and I am a mother of an autistic. Let me stop now. I am the normal, kind of ADHD ish, but more normal than.
Both of them.
So, yeah, just here. Welcome to the podcast. According to Google and the CDC.gov, autism or autism spectrum disorder, ASD, is a lifelong neurodevelopmental disability that affects how a person experiences, communicates, and interacts with the world. It's called a spectrum because it affects every individual differently, ranging from those who live independently to those who require significant daily support. And that, on the side note of that definition, what do you feel you're on the spectrum of? Like, do you need support or?
Yeah, actually, level 1, I feel needs more support because we look quote unquote normal. So, this is why we're doing this. This podcast is to bring awareness because awareness of the challenges and obstacles we encounter on a daily basis, being that we look normal, to help individuals like families and friends to have a better understanding of what we go through, so we can get the support, a better support that we need. Um, so support, whether it be emotional support, whether it be physical, whatever support we need. And I say we need because we grew up on a system based on like they're telling us what we need. For example, like ADHD for him, autism, nobody ever knew I had autism and all the support I needed. So it feels very lonely being that I look normal, quote unquote, for like society standards. So it would be nice to have people know more about level 1, how it looks like from the inside, from our brain, from the perspective of our brain. Because we have, and again, a broken system that is telling us with the therapies. I'm not against therapy and all of that, but it's not helping us. Nobody's sitting there and asking us, how do you need to be helped? Not instead of the therapist telling us, you need to do this, you need to do that. Why is nobody asking us what are our needs? Because if you notice, the people that are getting therapy with level 1 and stuff like that are being told what to do and how to act in society instead of saying, wait, they're acting out still. But why is that? Because nobody's asking us, what do we need? Nobody's seeing our perspective. Asking our perspective of our needs. Instead, they're telling us, hey, you need to sit down and you need to do this. You need to do better on this and that. For example, the speech therapist, nothing against it, but what I'm saying is like people have texture issues, like sensory issues, right? And they're teaching you how to eat this, this, and the third, instead of looking for ways or saying, first of all, why is that texture bothering you? Have you ever asked a kid, why is it bothering you? Instead of developing this and that, why not look for things that, wait, that's a sensory issue, right? Let's ask, what do prefer they to eat, right? Stuff like that. No, we're being told how to act in society and giving us pills and stuff like that that we don't need. Nobody's sitting there and listening to our needs. So this podcast, I want to bring awareness to those things, families and friends, to see if we get a better understanding on this and to see if we get better help, right? And that's with the autism. Now with the ADHD, he has his own story.
So for those of you who don't understand what ADHD is like imagine you have a web browser in your brain with 87 tabs open. 3 are playing music, 1 is frozen, and you have no idea where the sound is coming from. And somehow your brain still expects you to answer an email, remember your dentist appointment, and focus on one conversation for an hour. That's what ADHD feels like. ADHD isn't a lack of intelligence or laziness. It's more like a difference in how the brain manages attention, motivation, impulses, and priorities. People think ADHD means you can't pay attention, but often it's actually difficulty controlling where your attention goes. Sometimes the brain is like a pinball machine. Everything lights up at once. Other times it's hyperfocus, where a person can spend 6 straight hours learning about vintage submarines and forget how to eat lunch. Damn, that was fucking good. Yeah, I like that. It's not an attention deficit. It's an attention regulation issue. And the frustrating part, the person with ADHD usually knows exactly what they should be doing. The challenge is getting the brain to shift gears and to do it consistently. So if you have ADHD, if you're into it, it'll be easy for you to focus on. But if you're learning something that really isn't piquing your interest, it's going to be harder for you to focus.
Correct.
So that's a rough summary on how ADHD works.
So adding on to that, I also wanted to point out certain thing that is really helpful to the viewers. According to CDC, people with ASD, which is, like I said earlier, autism spectrum disorder, may behave, communicate, interact, and learn in ways that are different from most other people. There is often nothing about how they look that sets them apart from other people. Example, her, she's on the stage 1, you said? Level 1. So with her, people see her normally and they think, oh, she's normal, she's fine. Or they would explain something to her and she wouldn't understand and they think that she understands because she looks normal. So, part of society sees her normal, but in her brain, it's a whole different world. That's what people don't understand because she looks normal. And from my experience with growing up with her as her daughter, I've seen a lot and experienced a lot with her that I now understand more than when I was little. So I get to see that and grow and be like, oh, okay. And even till this day, I'm still understanding because it's a different world over there. As a normal person, it's like, okay, you got to be patient with these people because you don't know how they operate. You got to ask them and, be compassionate with people with these type like autism, ADHD, because if you don't understand, it's okay. You just have compassion. That's all it is. And patience.
So, all right, that's today, that's a brief explanation of what we're going to be talking about. Feel free to bring questions for us to to answer. Um, Feel free to talk about it. I personally don't get offended like that. So anything you have in mind that you want to know, let me know. I'm here to answer all questions as best way I could and help you guys understand. If you have kids with autism and stuff like that, just know that you're not alone. So, yeah.